Hey everybody, welcome to Off Grid with Brad and Kelly. So we're putting in a propane water heater there at our tiny home, and we're only doing a little bit of our project every day. Really everything that we can that's going to take more than a day, we break up into multi-day projects. We got done with one thing really early today. I put out a new video on full spectrum survival and got into this project, and lo and behold, I thought that the water heater had a shutoff on it. It didn't. It had a flow regulator to go from little flow to a lot of maximum flow. And so as we finished half the project and got water to it, I realized I wasn't going to be able to turn on the water tonight unless we had a cap for the CPVC, for the hot coming out. So we're back here at Home Depot at what is quickly becoming our second home. So, having to spend so much time here really got me thinking, what happens if you need something to put your house back together? You have water leaks, you have your well goes out. What happens if something like that takes place during a crisis event, during a time where you can't get to the store? What do you do then? And so, as we're remaking our homestead here, I'm thinking more and more about what we need. Should something like that happen, I can't go to the store and get a cap. Now, can I rig away? Can I get it done? Yes, probably. But probably not in the same manner that I need to today, and that's to have a well-fixed solution, a well-made solution that is going to allow me to use this propane water heater for years without conflict, years without problem. Okay, so we're back in the car. Kelly and the kids wait in the car. Anytime we go to town, especially in flu season, if everyone doesn't have to go in, everyone doesn't go in.
No.
Kind of our protocol at home is if you go in the store, you come home and shower.
Yes.
So everyone's here waiting. Tyler and Zach, they sat and watched. What did you watch? Stella and Sam and Curious George. Mm-hmm. If you have kids and you haven't seen Stella and Sam, it's a really good, wholesome show.
Oh, yeah. we're pretty picky about what the kids watch. There are so many shows that are for kids that we do not agree with. So, Curious George and Stella and Sam's another one. Unfortunately, Stella and Sam's an old one, and I think they only had one season of it.
Yeah.
But the kids watch it all the time still. But, of course.
So they stayed in the car, had candy canes, and watched Stella and Sam and Curious George while I went inside. So this was what we needed. It cost all of $3. The gas probably cost $3 just to get here. Mm-hmm. But, like I said earlier, it got us thinking that you're not going to be able to go to the store if a large crisis happens. Mm-hmm. Or if you're living completely off the grid and you're trying to minimize as much as possible, and that includes not making as much money.
Right.
It might not be cost effective to go to the store. So what do? What happens if a disaster strikes and you don't have access to those types of things? Then I started thinking, okay, well, what are we going to do for our homestead? And really the best thing to do is to take an inventory of everything that you have. So how many feet of pipe run from your well to your homestead? How many feet of electrical wires do you have? How many outlets do you have?
Yes.
Really all of those things. How much wood would it take if you had water damage and wood rot or mildew or something like that?
Yeah.
Make an inventory of that.
Right.
And then start slowly purchasing that inventory and getting it into somewhere where it's secure from the elements. So that when this happens, when you would otherwise have to go to the store...
Yes, you don't have to because you've thought ahead and you have an extra little tiny cap for PVC or just something small that you don't have to go all the way to a store for.
That's right.
You were prepared.
And so that's what we're starting to do now. If you guys are like us, you're on a budget. We're on a really tight budget where we are literally, we decided, should we come to the store to get this $3 worth of stuff, or put a bucket under the pipe that would just let water run out, and then shut the water off
and turn it on when we need it.
Yeah, and then come back and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about those types of things. Or would we come back when we have more than just this that we need?
Right. We don't generally really like to go for one or two little tiny things because it's not just right up the street to go to the store. It's a decent drive.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes to get here, 30 minutes to get home, so that's an hour. We haven't eaten dinner.
Right.
Luckily, Kelly pressed our coffee, so
we had coffee on the road.
Yep, that was good. And what? Candy canes.
Candy
Yep, for the kids. So now we're going home, and tonight is a really great dinner. We've had this for the last 3 nights. Kelly has a beer bread recipe. Now, we don't drink beer, but beer has a lot of nutrients in it, a lot of the grains. The fermentation itself is healthy.
Right.
And so Kelly has a beer bread recipe.
Yes.
That it's not skinny on the butter,
No.
on the fat.
It's so simple though, because it's flour, salt, baking powder, butter,
Sugar.
and sugar.
And beer.
And beer.
And so the
beer.
yeast and the carbonation in the beer reacts with the baking powder. It gives the dough its rise. You don't have to sit and let it rise. It's
an hour. It's about 45 minutes to an hour of cook time, so it's a
Right.
decent amount of time for cooking, but it's awesome.
So tonight we're having beer bread. She's going to make a new batch tonight. Last night we made some, 2 batches, gave one to a friend, Dave, who you guys have seen do some work with us here. Tonight we're making it again, and Kelly's making homemade pizza sauce. Put that on the top, put some cheese on it, put it back in the oven, and
we slice it up, and it's our
Pizza
beer
bread.
Yeah, pizza bread, beer bread, pizza bread.
Yeah, right. So that's tonight. That's what I'm looking forward to now. But guys, get thinking about it. What do you need that you won't have access to in the event of a disaster?
Right, you can't just drive up to Home Depot for pieces or something.
Right. And start chalking away at that inventory. Start chalking away at your 1-year plan. And that's it. Hopefully we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Yep.
As always, from Kelly and I to you and yours, stay safe and keep watch.